Okay guys, in this video, which is the second part of the SERP Curate strategy and best practices video series, I want to talk first about the benefits of the SERP Curate strategy. And when I'm talking about the benefits, I'm talking about the things that we have identified so far. Okay, it's such a new strategy, it's such a new tool that we probably, there's probably a whole bunch of things that we will think about later as we start to use it more and more. And the more we use it, the more it's going to be apparent to us, the multiple other benefits that we don't see right now. It's just one of those kind of things. But here's the thing, any tool that can give you 50 page one rankings for keywords like compare car insurance with a 3-minute campaign setup has got massive value. Okay, so don't be surprised if I was to record this video in 6 months time, for example. It would look completely different what I'm going to show you now for what I think is the benefits and the advantages of the SERP Curate strategy. After we cover those briefly cover those benefits, we will start to go into sort of strategy stuff, deeper strategy stuff, about what kind of goals you want to set for your campaigns, and about targeting and keywords as well. Okay, so we can cover all of that in this video, and then we will do some extra videos as well about optimizing the video that we're going to be using in a SERP Curate campaign. That will come in the next video after this one, and then finally we will do a final video which will be covering some additional playlist strategies that we can use and best practices, so that we can get the very, very best for the optimization and the strategy sort of variations that we can use with this simple tool, because it's so easy to use and so powerful at the same time that we ought to explore it more, and that's what we will do in the 4th video of this series. So let's go straight into some of the benefits that I've listed here. Now, one of the obvious ones that I've seen so far is that we take up space on that page one. Okay, there are times when you will see that you are ranking multiple times with multiple playlists on page one for the same keyword phrase. If you're using it the way that I did, where I used all 50 US states with the compare car insurance keyword. So I had page one, for example, for compare car insurance in Massachusetts. At the same time, I was on page one for compare car insurance in Boston. At the same time, I was page one for compare car insurance somewhere else. And you saw 3 or 4 of these playlists actually on page one of YouTube. That's a little bit concerning to me, because I don't want it to look like that. And so I've devised other strategies that we can use it more for topical optimization, so that although we still take up page one real estate, we do it in a sensible way that's not going to look kind of spammy, which it sometimes can if you do it the way that I did it initially. Also, the way I did it initially with those 50 compare car insurance keywords that we got page one for all of them, it was really a wow factor. I knew it was going to work. I just knew it because it's in YouTube, it's not in Google. Okay, because of the on-page optimization, because I had done some testing of that on-page optimization strategy before, and I knew that it worked pretty well for playlists. And it was really just a wow factor. Look what we can do with this. Look how powerful this is. It doesn't necessarily mean that's the very, very best way to use it. And even if I did want to use that strategy, we could still do it slightly different, which I will go into in a more advanced video on using advanced strategies with playlists. Okay, so that would be video 4. So what I want to cover here is just the basic benefits of taking up that real estate space, because even though it's on YouTube, you can still have 2 or 3 places where your content is on page one because of the SERP Curate strategy. Ideally, one of those is going to be for your video ranking, as well as the playlist ranking, as well as maybe another keyword belonging to the playlist. For example, I am ranking for compare car insurance in Massachusetts. At the same time, I'm ranking for compare car insurance in Boston, okay, which is the largest city in Massachusetts, I believe, the largest city. Okay, so that would give you sort of 3 elements there that you could be ranking for that would make sense. Okay, the next thing is that we get multiple page one rankings. It just happens. It's just the way that this is set up, partly because we are using multiple YouTube channels. That is a key factor. Okay, it should not be overlooked. It should not be thought of as just an extra thing that we can do. It's actually a crucial part of what we do, okay? Because if anything happens to any of the channels at any time, because we are just like spamming the SERPs, okay, because literally we can spam the SERPs with this tool. We can actually go and get multiple page one rankings and make those search results look really ugly at times. You know, YouTube just might come and start to delete channels or just make those channels not rank so easily. I don't know what they can do, but you know, we want to have the ability that we can use multiple channels for that purpose, for that safety net. Also, it's giving us more internal linking inside YouTube as well, which is hugely important when we actually want to go and rank that video in page one as well, and ultimately in YouTube as well. Okay, and that takes me on to, you know, the thing about the competitive keywords. Now, the way that we have done the on-page optimization, it is very unique. It is extremely unique, but it's really powerful, and it's just plain working. And you can see if you're ranking for compare car insurance keywords with the 3-minute setup, there's something magical happening there. Whether we can put it down to one particular thing or whether it's a combination of things, because we're using curation from the search results, which is curated by YouTube. We are putting the titles of all the videos in the playlist into the description. We are taking the channel names and we're making hashtags from those channel names and putting that in the description. We are taking the most popular tags used from all those videos that are top ranking videos. We're taking the top 6 most popular tags between all of those videos. They are being auto inserted. We are automatically assigning the thumbnail that we're going to use, that we want to show as the thumbnail for that playlist, which gives us another optimization strategy right there. There's multiple things going on, plus we have the translation of 41 localized metadata translations. It doesn't mean that we change the translation of your video as it shows on YouTube. What it means is localized metadata translation. What it means is that if somebody's searching in Portuguese or Spanish or Italian or French, and you have got it localized with the metadata translation in the background, which is a feature in YouTube, then somebody's typing in those languages, in French for example, for those, you know, for keywords that would fit your content, then your content can be found. Okay, this is really hugely important. Okay, massively important. Okay, and we can take things even further from there, and we probably will, even with extra automation at some point in the future, but I don't want to let too much out at the moment, because let's just focus on making what we have work really well and get a better understanding of what we can do with this strategy, because it's extremely powerful, as we can see, because it's so easy to go and just dominate the search engine results. I haven't seen anything like that for years and years and years. Okay, and then what we can do as well is we can, if we choose to, we can run click-through rate views on the first video on the playlist. Now, I have a tool that does it. It's a separate tool. It's called VidAttack Alpha. And VidAttack Alpha has the ability to import and view the first video on the playlist. So what you can do here, say for example, I have, let me show you here, it's going to be easier for me to explain this to you. Once I have done my playlist, if I have nothing in here but the 50 playlists, for example, that I did, which is what I actually did do, I click on select all, okay, and then we can export here to VidAttack Alpha. Now, when I export it to VidAttack Alpha, have a look at this. Okay, this is really powerful. Let me just expand this fully so it doesn't, you don't get distracted with the other stuff. We can choose which search engines we want to get our content found so that it can click through. Now, I do suggest that you would start with YouTube first, okay, because we know that we're going to be ranking in YouTube. All we want to do is increase the click-through rate on the video. Okay, so what we would do, maybe put this at something, actually I would do it a lot less. I would do it like, say 12 to 15, let's say 15 views. Okay, we can click the link in the description if we want to in the playlist. That's an option. I will cover that separately in a different video. I don't want you to do that right now, because there's some things that you need to understand before you take that option. Okay, you can set the retention time of the video being watched. Now, it's automatically set between 65 and 100%. You want to move that up. Okay, That was me just being conservative, okay, in case people forgot to do it. At least it would be more than half. And sometimes if you forget to do this, then it's okay to have some, it looks kind of natural to have some about 65% anyway. Okay, so we can set the retention rate on the video to something like this, like 93 to 100%. Now what this means is, once I click on add the project, it's going to give me a file that I export. And if you have VideoTech Alpha, which is another software, completely different software, you can import this and you can run your campaign in the playlist viewer, and it will watch the first video on the playlist, which is going to be your video. Okay, so I did that with this one here, and this one here is not a long video. It's only like 21 seconds or something like that. It's not even my video, it's just one that I found with Creative Commons. I used it for the purpose of testing, just for the wow factor, to get 50 page one rankings for compare car insurance keywords using the strategy. Okay, ideally what you want to make sure, and this is what we're going to cover in the next video, is that the video that you're using with SERP Curate is of good quality, is a little bit longer than 21 seconds. Ideally between 1 and 3 minutes would be okay. Even if it's longer, we can still do very, very well with it if we're using the VideoTech Alpha strategy. But because this is in a playlist, and because we want to do this strategy where we're getting click-through rates for all of those different keywords, and all those different keywords are going to be the same keywords that we used for SERP Curate. Okay, and then we should start to see the video itself will start to rank for those keywords, just because we're getting the click-through from the search engine results, watching the video between 93 and 100%, and that is really hugely important. Okay, these user behavior signals, these CTR video views, will rank really well in YouTube, and it doesn't take a lot to be able to do that. Okay, now what we did notice, and this is what we're going to in advanced strategies, and I'll just touch on it now. What we did notice is that if you put one link in that video description, the video description, not the playlist description, in that video description, whatever that link is, whether it's a landing page, whether it's a sales page, whether it's a blog post, whatever it might be, a squeeze page, anything it might be, you will see that whatever that link is will start to rank for that keyword as well. Because it's getting click-through rates from the search engines, high retention video view time on the video, okay, it will start to put that, whatever that link is, will start to rank, and it will rank above the YouTube video on Google eventually. Okay, so what we're doing then is we're ranking that web page. Okay, we're ranking the web page with video views. That's how this works. That's how powerful this is. Now, this was all part of a system that I created before. It was called the Rank Attack SEO system. I was looking for a way that we could expand that so that we could do more than just like one video, one keyword at a time. It needed to be expanded. The answer was this. This is why I created SERP Curate. This is what it's really about. This is what SERP Curate really is about. It's all about taking the Rank Attack SEO system where we were able to use a video to rank a web page, so that we could use one video for multiple keywords all at one time in the same campaign to rank a web page for multiple keywords. Okay, if you have grasped what I've just explained to you, then you'll see the enormity of what we're doing here. Okay, the ranking in YouTube is nice, but it is not the main strategy. It's not the main event in what we're doing here with the SERP Curate strategy. So the real benefit of SERP Curate goes much deeper than meets the eye. Okay, so that is something really important. So if we're running these CTR views to the video in the playlist using the VideoTech Alpha, now you can do this if you are, willing to hire some people from some micro worker sites. You can do this. There is some other memberships and softwares that might do this. You won't find anything at one-time price like we have got for VideoTech Alpha, or if you take it monthly, at a low cost like we have got, because you've got unlimited use with our tool. Okay, so you can get it done elsewhere. If you don't have VideoTech Alpha, you can go to micro worker sites, Mechanical Turk, and places like that. If you search the internet, you will find a bunch of those sites where you can ask people, go and watch my video by searching for this keyword, and when you find my video in the search results, click through on a video, watch it all the way through. Okay, you can do that. It's just time consuming, but Whereas if you have VideoTech Alpha, it's literally like 2 or 3 minutes to set it up. It's really simple. You saw the settings. There's not much more to it than what you saw there. Okay, and the other benefit as well with the SERP Curate strategy is that, I'll just come back in here again. This is kind of important. This is something that kind of dawned on me when we had those 50 page one rankings, because remember I said this video is just a video that I found from Creative Commons. Now I can go and replace this at any time. That is not a permanent feature. It doesn't have to be a permanent feature of this particular playlist. I can come in here, I can delete this from the playlist, I can add a new one from another URL, okay? And what I can do then is I can replace this, and the playlist will still maintain its rankings, okay? But we want to make sure that we're optimizing the video properly, which we're going to cover in the next video. So that's basically all I wanted to cover in this video, which I hope you will have found very, very informative. In the next video, we are going to cover things like the goals, okay? So the goals that I've got here, slightly different from the benefits, because if I just copy from here, just bring this over, you have same benefit. Your goals could be the same as the benefits, like page one rankings and all that kind of stuff. But let's go a little bit deeper. Let me just do this quickly now, guys, since I'm here. Okay, because it's kind of important that you really grasp what we're trying to do here. If I just make that bigger and I make it centered, it's going to be easier to see. Actually, let's put it on the left side and let's do the bullet points here. There we go. Nice and organized. Now we can see it, okay. If we want to use the SERP Curate, the goals, really, the real goals, if you want to use SERP Curate to rank a landing page, just like I was saying, whether that landing page is a blog, a squeeze page, sales page, wherever it might be, okay, we have that ability with the strategy, okay. You do need to be able to do the CTR video views, okay. You can use this to promote a sales video as well, okay. That might be the goal that you want to use. If you are doing things like affiliate marketing, this is absolutely fantastic, because you can take a demo video from a JV page and you can use that, okay. This is also perfect to promote automated webinar funnels, okay. So you can make an advert that's 1 to 3 minutes long, explaining about something you're giving away or something about a webinar to get people onto that webinar, okay. You can even do this with somebody else's webinars, okay. I think JVZoo have a whole section now of automated webinars. You can actually go and have a look at those webinars. You could probably take 3 minutes of a webinar at the beginning, where they are doing their pitch and when they are basically telling people why they should stay and watch this webinar. That part of the video, you could take that and you could basically upload just that part of the recording, just re-record that part of the video. You could upload that, okay, and use that as an advert to be able to drive more traffic into an automated webinar, okay. That will work really well, okay. That would work really well. So that way, if you are ranking for multiple keywords, okay, and you are ranking for say for example we were doing it for webinar software, since we're talking about webinars, okay. And the webinar software was called Webinar Jam, which pays, I think, very, very well for the affiliates. What we would be targeting there would be Webinar Jam software. We would be targeting things like GoToWebinar Alternative. We would be targeting things like the best webinar software, okay. Then we'd be targeting keywords that might be sort of time-stamped, like webinar software for 2020, that kind of thing. We have a whole bunch of options there that we can use using different keywords that are kind of subtopic, that are all related to the content of your video, that you can be ranking for, and you're there as a permanent fixture in YouTube for those keywords. These playlists then become assets for you, okay. They become assets in the way that you can use these to sit on page one and just wait to be found by people who are searching for a solution that you're promising to provide for them, okay. So they do the search query, what is the best alternative to GoToWebinar. They might be searching for keywords related to Webinar Jam. They might be searching for the best webinar software 2020, for example, and you're there on page 1 every single time, okay? And your video, your thumbnail is showing every single time. Now, when somebody's searching a few times and they keep coming across, they think, I'm going to check out that video. It keeps appearing, okay? So you've got that familiarity being built as well, okay? You're building that familiarity. You're sort of kind of almost branding your video with these playlists. So there's multiple benefits to this, okay? And to be able to use it for the promotion stuff is really important. So if you want to do it for products that you've got, services, to build recognition, to build familiarity, I mean, where does it stop? I mean, there's huge amounts of opportunities there. But for me, the real benefits will come with either doing some things like affiliate promotions or the automated webinars, or to rank a landing page for very, very competitive keywords in Google, and by using this whole SERP Curate thing in combination with Video Attack Alpha. And that for me is the real goal and why I created SERP Curate. So that's the end of this video. It went a little bit longer than I expected. I wasn't going to do these goals actually. I didn't think it would take so long to get through this. So, you know, I hope you got some value from this. And in the next video, we will talk about the video that we're going to use inside a SERP Curate campaign, what we should be looking for to create, and what we need to do before we create the video. Okay, what kind of video do you want to use? We can also talk about, and also the keyword targeting for that as well, because that's hugely, hugely important. Okay, thank you.